So in this video we're going to keep practicing some of the basics using the Ubuntu machine and the Metasploitable machine as examples. So I've still got them up and running. In the last video we took a look at commands like ls and cd and pwd to kind of see what they could do for us. We created a file and then kind of removed the file. We're going to expand that a step further and say, what about directories? What if I wanted to make folders or remove folders, things like that. So on my Linux computer here on the left, the Ubuntu machine, I'm going to go and I'm going to make a directory here in my current location, which is my home directory, by doing the mkdir command. So I'll make one here and I'll call it James. Okay, so when I do mkdir and now I'll do an ls, we'll see I now have a James directory in here. Okay, then I'm going to go and switch to this location. So we'll see here, why don't we actually follow along and say here's my home, and I just made this James folder. That's what I just made in my file structure. So I can now switch to it using my cd command. So I can now cd to James, and if you remember your tab like before, I could use tab to autocomplete as I start typing. And then what would we get if we did a pwd for this? Pwd, what will this have? Remember, we're in our NSA home directory, so I'm at /James inside of this. And inside my James folder is where maybe I'll make another test file. Just like before, we made a test file using the touch command. So I did touch and then test, and this created a file inside James called test. Okay, so if I go inside James, I now have a test file all inside of there. So just starting to bring some of our commands all together and introducing this new make directory, mkdir, okay, is something we can do in here. Now another useful command is, okay, I've got this test file, but what's actually inside of it? Let's cheat and take a look. If I double click on test, we'll see what's actually inside of this. It's an empty file. There's nothing actually inside it. We made the file, but it's empty. So next we could see, what if I wanted to put some contents in the file all here off the terminal? You can do that with the echo command. So if I type out echo, and then if any text that I type out afterwards will be my message that I'm going to put into this. So maybe we'll do, this is a test message. Then using your shift period, kind of your double arrow to the right, I can say, please put this particular contents, this is a test message, inside my file called test. Okay, so I just echoed this message in. So now when I come over here and I say, let's reload this, it's changed. I can see now that my file, my test file now has, this is a test message has been put inside of it. Okay. Okay, so that's the echo is a useful command for writing information to a file. What if I did it again? What if I did something else again? I now say echo hello into my test file. And now I come back over here and I double click on test. You'll see I now have, this is a test message, and then I have hello has just been appended to the end. So the basics of your echo command will take your in message, whatever it is, and just stick it on the end. There are other ways you can start messing around with this, but let's just learn how it works from the start. So echo is how I could write information at the end of a file to any file that I can type out. Next will be, let's say I wanted to do this from a different location. Okay, so right now I'm in my James folder, and that's where the test actually is located. But I don't actually have to be in this location to write to this file. So if I did something like cd ... remember now I'm back to my home directory. Okay, and if I were to do my echo again, echo third message, and I'm going to send this to a location called James /test. Okay, so now I'm trying to write it to a location not currently where I am. Okay, so now I went and I tried to add in this third line to my message. So when I double click on here, you see I wasn't even in the same folder. That's okay. I can still write it out by addressing where the directory actually, where the file is located in the structure. So learning how to write things to other locations, learning how to directly see the contents of other locations. We did that with the ls command in the last video. Very useful to understand how to do using your terminal. Finally, let's take a look at what if I wanted to remove this file. Do we remember how to do that from last time? And I'll do that from a different location as well. Remember, we had the rm command. So if I went rm James /test, this is a way I could delete that particular file, I now look in here and, oop, I still had it open. Let's close it and take a look in my folder. You see I'm in my James folder and the test file is now gone. And now let's take see a new command and say, what if I wanted to remove the James directory? Okay, you can do that through a rmdir James, and that will end up removing the entire James directory. Now James is gone altogether. Okay, so we're taking a look at rmdir, mkdir, as well as the echo command, how to start writing information into a folder as well as creating those folders. Very useful things to do, how to just common everyday things you're going to be doing in Linux all the time. And we'll get some more practice with some more commands after this.